Yes, so Bex Holcomb is the only change for him today. Everyone else, we've got Alan O'Connor, Rene Howe up front, and the power of Matty Stevens on the bench as well, who, full of enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah. I'll just give you that last name on the Kettering Town lineup, by the way. It's Jai Minus, who's the other substitute for Kettering Town. The St Ives lineup, as we get underway, is we got the clock. Well done, Matt. Matt's fired it off on time. Is Tim Trevers, number 2, Miles Smith, number 3 is Jordan Gerald, 4 is Lewis Farrell, 5 is Lloyd Groves, 6 Rogan McGeorge, 7 Ben Seymour Shove, 8 Tom McGowan, 9 Danny Kelly, 10 Oliver Smith, and 11 Phil Draker. On the bench for St Ives Town tonight is 12 Jamie Short, 14 Eugene Libertune, 15 Ben Sayer, and 16 Danny Watson. So there's your two teams.
Mulligan just has to be careful, and he's done well there. And now O'Connor plays the ball back towards Bateman. Bateman ball over the top, lovely header there from Rene Howe, who now tees up Storr. The ball into the middle as a shot just does not come away for Kettering, and the ball ends up out for a throw for Kettering, very close to the corner flag.
Remember, and probably I remember it because probably yes.
Yes, for certain reasons.
I don't need to end that conversation, that sentence, shall I say? Do I? No.
Throwing on the far side, taken from Toseland, and the ball just bounced around a moment and headed back towards the goalkeeper, and Storr's got a foot on it, and he just directs it past Tim Treves. But
as you can probably see, it's going to be number 3, Jordan Jarrell with it. Going to take this left-footed. There he goes, over there onto that far side. It's
trying to pick out the number 18 there, hasn't he? As he said, he is a larger-than-life player, and this could be dangerous as the shot goes in, and a good save there from Paul White. Mickle is, didn't even put much pressure on there, but managed to win a throw. As Rene Howe controls the ball, turns, he's had a shot, and possibly saw the goalkeeper off the line. It did come off the 18 last, so it will be a throw for Kettering. Not throw where the ball did go out. Bit of a disadvantage possibly there from Kettering, and Scott Poston does blow as there seems to be a tussle between.
Bit of nonsense going on. As you were saying just a moment ago, Lewis Farrell did well there because it looked as if the ball was going to drop over his head, Matt, but did just manage to get something on it. And the referee's got some sorting out to do here. A bit of wrestling going on between Liam Bateman and is that Gerald? Is it the player that was also involved?
I think it's possibly the number 11.
Oh, was it the 11? He's wandered away now, is it? Yeah, I said Gerald because he was in front of us, but he's wandered all the way off. The referee's going to beckon him over.
Because
he's the captain. Yeah,
indeed. Yeah, ask the
so
captain.
It is Gerald who was the other offender, so to speak. But he's going to speak to the captain, which.
Again, I think it was possibly down to Kettering trying to take that throw in a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Than possibly some of the St Ives players liked, and also it wasn't really in the position where the ball went out, but actually it was more towards the Kettering halfway line, so they've not really got too much to complain about there, have they?
Tom McGowan, who's been having a chat to the referee, and it's a yellow card is the grand result of that for Jordan Gerald. Bit of nonsense going on there. I'm not quite sure why he was so offended by Kettering trying to take a quick throw in, but obviously got upset about something. The referee's still not happy.
The linesman's telling Ben Tosen to roll the ball back a couple of inches.
A decent left foot, Tosen. That'd be looking for this to go right in the box. It is. It's curling a little bit too much, but not Kettering player not anywhere near it in fairness in the end. But could have another chance to put something in here. Here he goes again. Ball in. Oh, he was unmarked. I don't think he knew.
O'Connor
with a chance. And a goal!
Great goal there.
First goal of the game. 16 minutes played. The ball fell around O'Connor about 7 yards out, and you knew there was only going to be one result from there, and it's 1-0 to Kettering Town.
Well, you have to say the reactions there from the Kettering players were great, especially from Ben Toseland when he received that ball again after taking the free kick. He was able to whip the ball in. It was held up there. I believe it was Ben Milnes who held the ball, and it sort of ricocheted off him, and he managed to get it forward. O'Connor switched on,
well,
ready
actually,
to
Milnes
go.
had got more room than what he thought. He could have took it himself. Didn't know that, but in the end, laid it off nicely to O'Connor, and that's his 15th goal of the season for Aaron O'Connor. And
you have to say he
and the 10th in the league.
You have to say
goal.
he made that look really easy to keep that pressure on them teams lurking just above them.
That was whipped into the near post and was defended well in the end, but they're going to have a second go at this. It's coming in. Oh, Paul White stretching for it and didn't make it, and it was cleared off the line. Didn't see who that was, but that was literally about to go over the line for a goal. I think it might have been Brett Solkin who was there on the line. Paul White was stretching for that right from the get-go and didn't manage to get anything on it.
A little bit too much, and was always past the ball.
He was reaching, he was overreaching and just couldn't get to it. Ben Mills going to be swinging this in right-footed, so once again with the added addition of the wind, this is going to be whipping straight into the goalkeeper.
Just
going
look
to
at
go
Mulligan with the space at the back there.
Exactly, here it comes, it's a good one. Keeper's coming out for it, punches it, but it's one of his own players and almost ends up carrying back. Toseland now, right-footed this time, puts the ball back into the box, but it's decently defended.
Ball just knocked about at the moment and not really cleared to Mulligan. Just play the ball forward in the end and just find O'Connor on that far side, who now needs to cut in. He's got Rennie Howe going towards the far post. Can he find him? Instead it's Storr with the ball. Storr almost stands on the ball. Shot though. Oh, just wide there from Ben Milnes, I believe.
It didn't really help them out that much, did it? In a much tighter affair than what tonight's game has been so far. But maybe that's to St Ives' detriment as to why they've conceded so many goals if they play games like this every week, because they are fairly open. Then, and to their credit, they do look to come forward and try and score goals, but they leave gaps at the back as they do here.
Yeah, allowing Ben Toseland to get that ball forward to O'Connor, and look at Milnes who wants that ball
into the box. Oh, how's there? He slipped at the vital moment. But to be fair to him, the ball was coming, but there was a touch on it from the keeper that took all the pace off of it.
Certainly protesting his innocence, but it will be...
Don't they always?
It will be dangerous, as we have seen from some of the set pieces that goes in, and that did move a lot.
Oh, White's dropped it. He's actually dropped it, Matt.
Yeah, that moved a lot in the air as it came towards Paul White.
Well, probably won't make a great deal of difference in the grand scheme of things, but I'm sure from a Kettering Town point of view, from Marcus's point of view, rather than going 2-0 up, rather than just a 1-0 up, and here's Meikle trying to help them do that.
He's done well. And
O'Connor,
wild shot from O'Connor.
Has been replaced by Lubatici. Number 9 is Danny Kelly, 10 Oliver Snaith, 11 is Phil Drake. Out and on the subs bench for St Ives, the remaining substitutes are Jamie Short is number 12, 15 is Ben Sawyer, and 16 is Danny Watson.
Great ball forward from O'Connor as Rennie Howe plays it sideways. O'Connor has another go and it bounces, ricochets. It's just gone over the post there, but a great start there for Kettering. Before cleared away by Ben Toseland through the legs of the St Ives number 2. Miles
Great Smith. Ball from Rennie Howe to Aaron O'Connor. They really got him stretched now. Can he do something with it? Here's Toseland with a chance on goal. Oh, a decent save in the end. Probably made it a little more comfortable for the goalkeeper than what he would have wished.
Almost there. Good ball forward. Storr now just needs to put it forward. He does. He finds nice O'Connor. Ball. He's charging into the area. He needs to have a shot
Must
here.
Be 2-0. Oh no.
Rennie Howe.
It is.
It comes off Rennie Howe and it's a goal for Kettering.
Yeah, Kettering Town have the lead. 53rd minute of this game. It looked like Aaron O'Connor was put through. He was clear through. Took an awful bobble, the ball did, but he managed to get a shot off. Pulled it across the face of goal. And there was a simple tapping in the end for Rennie Howe, and Kettering, Matt, have got that all-important second goal.
That second goal, very soon after the half-time, will give that confidence to the Kettering squad. Sound from the Kettering fans as they enjoyed that going. And I think, you know what, I think Rennie Howe did the right thing there. I don't think that ball would have gone over the line. There were some St Ives...
no, he had to put it in.
Well, it all depends, because St Ives do look a team who could be dangerous.
They do still look dangerous on the break, don't they? Yeah,
they do. And Kettering just need to maybe hold it now for the next 5-10 minutes without any issues. But here are St Ives with a cross in, and that's
off the post.
Off the post, and it's again. That's too easy, isn't it, getting in there?
Well, it is. Yeah, that sounded like it came back off the post to me and out for for a goal kick, and
It's Aaron O'Connor.
And it's going to be Aaron O'Connor who's coming off. So maybe just saving him for bigger games that are on the way, of course, at Kettering Town. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't grab a goal. We know he's done it in the past, coming off the substitute bench. Another really good shift from Aaron O'Connor. Worked really hard. I mean, well, there was definitely two fouls. He let the first one go, and then the second foul was inside the box, which is what he blew for. But then gave it for the first one.
Well, it's Miles Smith, the former Kettering Town player, who has been given the yellow card.
I find that a quite extraordinary decision, actually, by the referee, because I thought if you're going to give anything, it should have really have been a penalty. But could there be a goal coming this week? Good save in the end from the keeper. He's allowed play on, hasn't he? And then he blew the whistle after the second foul. That was at least. I mean, John Dunham was the first one to shout for it.
Could be break here. Still trying to get on the end of the ball. Matty Stevens.
Stevens going to get this goal. He's going to have a shot on goal. Oh, he's hit the post! Oh my goodness me! Guys downstairs. Unfortunately, Matt, we don't have a monitor up here, so we can see what the viewers at home are watching.
No, but we're going to have a shot here from Ben Milnes. He can't get it away, but he's still wrestling with the ball, and now it's
just needed to take that extra step, didn't he?
Matty Stevens shot. Matty Stevens, another go. No, not quite. Back towards Storer. Back towards Bateman.
That's in somebody's garden.
Ball bounced over the top. Toseland trying to find Milnes, and instead it is Mikkel who has the ball, plays it steady towards Toseland. Toseland looks to cross it in, safe from the goalkeeper, but back towards Toseland. Comes off Miles Smith, but now Kettering with the ball again. Rennie Howe.
Oh, nicely played by Howe.
Testing the player there as the shot needs to go in.
Is anybody going to score?
It goes in.
Yeah!
Ben Milnes who finally puts that ball in the back of the net.
My goodness, it's almost like a bagatelle in there for a minute. The ball was bouncing all over the place. Nobody could seem to get any sort of control on the ball, but eventually it falls to Ben Milnes, and he slots the ball into the net, and that's 3-0 to Kettering Town. And you have to say, that's also game over, and you can tell Kettering have just got another goal because Paul Cook's joined us on the gantry. He's made his reappearance from downstairs in the warm, and on the 28th minute of this second half, it's now Kettering Town 3, St Ives Town 0, and Gary Storer is going to be the man that now makes way for Ben Baker. So Kettering Town's second substitution. It's Baker coming on and Storer coming off. Really good.
So many games to fit in,
and Marcus has got to be looking at that, hasn't he, surely?
Well, you've got to think about your squad depth, you've got to think about injuries, and you've got to think about how some of these games could potentially
goal difference is nice,
league.
Matt, and it's nice for the fans to see their team win 7 or 8.
There's
another one nearly goes to corner, Matt.
What Rennie Howe did there.
Yes,
just to
brilliant.
drag the ball back a couple
put
of times.
Put him on his backside, didn't he?
He certainly did, and there could be another opportunity here as Brett Solcombe looks, and I haven't really seen that much.
Brett's up there now as we're into the 75th minute here at Latimer Park. 15 left to go.
Another opportunity here now.
Is there going to be a fourth?
Ball is crossed in, and a shot for Mulligan. And
Mulligan. They're all up there having a go. Is there anybody left in the Kettering half?
Said, get yourself organised. I know it's hard.
That's us in trouble with all the other husbands and wives that are looking forward to going Christmas shopping on Saturday.
Well, I believe there's some lovely memorabilia things for sale which can be purchased here.
Well, yeah, there's stuff here you can buy for Poppy's memorabilia and what have you, and scarves and shirts and what have you for Christmas. Oh, as the ball comes in the box, and Rennie, how is he going to finish this down? Took one touch too many.
It's off the line almost from Rennie. How is
one touch too many, Matt?
Matty Stevens tries to get a shot, and they're just queuing up, aren't they?
I'm sure he's going to get a goal, Matt Stevens. I'm almost convinced he's going to.
I'm sure we say that every week, don't we?
Yes.
Now it's a Bateman who's trying to get on the end of it.
Nice flick from
Howe
again.
Going.
Oh, that's a penalty, surely. Referee!
No, as Bateman was
hauled
quite
to the clearly a penalty. Bateman was right through there and was about to pull the trigger and was quite clearly brought down. Nobody's going to do you any favours in this league. Doesn't matter what league of football you're playing. No. You can't rely on people doing you favours, can you?
Certainly not. And you've seen how close it comes with the playoffs every year. You often look at goal difference and.
Brilliant flick on from Rennie Howe. And here's Matt Stevens with a chance to get that goal. Keeper's made a save. It's going to be a tap in for Rhys Honus, and it's 4-0 to Kettering Town. 81 minutes played here at Latimer Park. Well, and if it wasn't all over at 3-0, it is now because it's 4-0. A wonderful flick on. I hope we get to see that at the end of the game as well. Rennie Howe with the ball just inside the St Ives area. Sorry, in the St Ives half, should I say. And it was a wonderful flick from the back of his heel over the top, and there was Matt Stevens. It looked like he was going to go through and get his first goal of the game, but he didn't, unselfishly laying the ball off, and there was a simple tap-in for Rhys Honus, and Kettering are 4-0 up, and, well, deserve it, don't they, Matt?
Well, you know, we've still seen St Ives try and get the ball forward, haven't we? We've still seen them try, even in the second half, to test the goalkeeper, but their substitutions have worked
Kettering
well.
Town have really exposed their frailties, haven't they, at the back in this second half? And here they come again. We're looking for 5. Oh, it was probably a little bit further wide than what we originally thought.
And I think, and again, Ben Milnes just with the ball just there, distributed it perfectly and has allowed the defence to push into an attack in a quick space of time. But now
another wave of red
Ben
shirts
Baker
coming forward.
finds Stevens.
Oh, well, he's going to have to come away from goal, unfortunately, for Stevens at this occasion. But he's got 1 or 2 to pick out in the box. And oh my goodness,
header.
It was Baker that was having a go.
Well,
can they come away with this? No, Tozen's going to be favourite for that. But, well, that physicality that we spoke about earlier in the game.
Yeah, 2 players, strong players, both tackling there. As
now there's Richards.
Here we go.
And he is going to go in the book.
Well, how long did we go? We had 4 minutes until
we had 4 minutes
90
left.
Minutes.
And unfortunately, Michael Richards is going to go in the book. And, well, I offer my apologies because I've said twice that we should keep that quiet, and I think I've probably spooked it, so I do apologise for that, but
it's happened.
Richards, I can't believe it. We've got the 3.5 minutes away from the end of the game, and he hasn't even been spoken to by the referee tonight. And then he has just one shove off the back of a player that, yes, he was attacking and in a decent position, but I think that's a little bit harsh, Matt, isn't it?
It's very harsh for him there, and he's going to be disappointed he's been given that yellow card so late in the game.
Well, not as disappointed as I have. I'll probably get.
Look at the swirl on that.
Well, that's gone in. That's gone in.
Look at the swirl on that.
Well, that's an unbelievable goal. Definitely wind assisted, but whipped into that back post. Paul White was coming out looking to try and pick it up. And unbelievably, I don't even know if even the St Ives fans know that's gone in. I'm just hearing. We're just going to show you Rhys Honus' goal again. So the 4th and final goal for Kettering Town. Here it is. I'm just going to show it.
Well, Kettering, in the meantime, have a go.
In fact, we're not. I'm being told we're not going to show that.
Well, that was lucky because there was almost the 5th goal
yes,
there.
And Ed Palmer on the radio Friday night, Kettering Hospital Radio. Search for it on the internet. Give him a listen.
Another
10
shot.
Oh my goodness me! Oh, Paul White looked
he
as if he was going to be trouble.
He didn't look comfortable at all there.
Yeah, the 499 hardy souls who have turned out to watch this game tonight. There's probably around about, what would we say, probably 20. Is there as many as 20 from St Ives? There's a few behind that goal.
There's a few. They've not had much to cheer about, but there is the...
Well, there is a full-time whistle, 5 or 6 seconds before the end of the game from what we've got on the timing screens in front of us. Comfortable in the end, Matt. Your final thoughts?
Indeed, yes, yeah, positive. You've got to say, 3 goals to with the goal difference now. 3 points, which was vital for Kettering to get as we have this run of home games, and I'm sure the Kettering fans are going to be happy with the display.